Hello, angels. This is Lifting the Veil, and today I want to talk about why I don't hang in groups of friends anymore. So, a couple of things. When you decide to hang with a bunch of people, which I understand, like we were in school, like you want to fit in, you want to get invited to those parties, and there are some exceptions that I will add into this video, that it's okay to be in group settings. It depends on the situation, it depends on your normalcy, what you like to do on your average daily hangouts. Some of them would be my reasons, and then some of them would be reasons that could upgrade your privilege. Think of it as the bad, and then we'll start out with the good, because I like to end the videos with a peaceful vibe. First reason, I don't really hang out with friends because I feel like you get lost. When you're in a group setting, no matter if it's 3 people to 5 to 10, which 10 is a lot of people, with a mixture of men and women, that can be a little bit different on the scales of just having a group of friends that are just women. But we'll just talk in terms of just mixing anyone, like it doesn't matter male, female. When you're in a group setting, you're mixing so many different energies. So depending on if you knew Boo Boo from 2010, or if you knew Shaquay in 2015, or depending on when you met these people, or if you just came into a group of friends, it just really depends. My thing is, you're mixing with so many different energies. You don't know who is who. You don't know who you're really friends with. You don't know who you really get along with. You don't know what characteristics are good with you. So examples of could be somebody could be more in their masculine energy as a woman. I could be more into my feminine energy. Then when we hang out, you're going out clubbing, those guys, they're so hot, like let's go out with them, let's go chase them down, run them down. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I'm in my receiving area. I'm not running down men. I'm not hanging out with groups of people. I was with a group of friends actually about a month ago, and I was actually reconnecting with a couple of people. One friend, she was a girl. I knew her in high school, and we kind of just stopped being friends, and we just reconnected briefly. And then I had this other guy, he was a gay guy I used to hang out with like for years. Like I knew him since middle school. And then we were all just he came back to our hometown because he was in a whole different state. So he went back home to Georgia. And then we all decided to just go party, have like a night, like a regroup, us meet up. And it actually didn't turn out well, but I'm not gonna get into that because like I can actually make that into like a whole separate podcast video. But we had an instance where all the energies were off, and this is why like I don't hang out with a bunch of people that like I'm not really familiar with. I don't really get along. I don't try my best to just fit in with people for no reason, and it was just chasing energy like the whole time. Like chasing, I'm more like in my receiving, like I just sit back, I enjoy the vibes, the energy. I don't really get on the table and just start like twerking or get on the chair. And then they would try to get me, like I would dance, like I do a little booty bop, whatever, but I don't really intentionally go out my way to like bend down, get on my fours, and like shake my ass in front of like a bunch of people, because like I just find it so unnecessary. And we were in like a Latin bar, so it's the vibes are a little bit different. No matter where we were, what scene, that's not what I do anymore. Like I don't, and even when I was like back, younger, in my partying days, I still didn't do that stuff. Like, it's just very inappropriate, it's very trashy, and it's ratchet. So that's like the whole night. And honestly, I was like, I don't think I could really be these people's friends again. And I think that's why we just kind of lost contact. Very just loud. And then one of the sisters, they're all in their masculinity. And one of the sisters, she met this one guy and wanted to go back to his place, I guess, to hook up. And then she was the one who drove us there, so she wanted all of us to come back to Jersey. And then y'all probably eventually connected the dots on where I live, so I won't tell too many details. But she wanted to go all the way over to Jersey to go hook up with a guy. So what were we supposed to do? Just sit there and wait for her? I don't understand. And the fact you can meet, I really don't get it. If you can meet people in the club and just intentionally want to just hook up and just have a good night, it's just not my scene. I'm more of like a classy type, have fun, like go to the museums, get some, like, I don't know, mimosas, put my feet up, go to the spa. Like, I don't need to really prove a point, or I'm not in survival mode. So that whole group, that ended. So my thing is, when you're in a group of people, nobody sees the real you. You don't stand out to nobody. So if you have, let's say, an interest in cooking dishes, or like you like making a lot of Italian dishes or Japanese cuisine, and you're trying to get across to everybody, oh, like, I'm interested in this, there's no way, unless y'all all sit down in a circle, kumbaya, and say, oh, okay, I'm into this, I'm into this, I'm into this, I like doing it. That's so hard to keep up with. Then if somebody's into it, then we're going to want to do it. So if one person is into cuisine, then another person is into rock climbing, it's like, not everybody's going to be into rock climbing. Not everybody's going to want to do that. So somebody's going to get left out, unless it's like a general thing we're all into, but like, nobody stands out. So I find that you need to have an identity, or a lot of people who are in groups have identity crisis. They don't really have a strong meaning or a strong purpose. Like, they don't know what God put them on this earth for. And I believe God put you on this earth he put you on here to do stuff that you love. So if you have you have to explore. That's why, like, you're young, especially when you live with your parents, you're young, you have the resources, but not everybody has the resources, which I'm not gonna put those people in, because like, that isn't fair. Like, if you have to get older to have those resources, that's a little bit of a different story. But when you're younger, that's when you explore all these hobbies, like drawing, reading, graphic design, any type of hobbies where like you find a strong meaning in it. That's what God put you here to do. Like, I want to do massage therapy. Like, this is something personal with me. I want to do massage therapy. For years, like, I've always had people tell me I'm good at it. Like, I'm good at making people feel very comfortable, making people release a lot of stress. My voice is very comforting. Like, then I connected the dots and say, hey, I need to go start this. So when you're in a group of friends, you're not having an identity. You're distracted. You have all these people around you in your ear saying, oh, I want this, I like this. Then let's not even get onto the gossiping. But it's just so many things into being around multiple energies that you don't feel comfortable being in. And it's a waste of time, because somebody's going to end up beefing with somebody, because not everybody gets along. So if you try to force that person to stay in a group because we're in a group, then that's not fair. And let's get into the fact that there's always one leader of the group. No matter what somebody says, there's always one person who created the group, who kind of like a pyramid scheme, like the person who started hanging out with one person, And then the one person met somebody else, and then now it's 4 people. And then those 2 other people that they met, that they go meet people, then they join them in the group. So usually the person who started the group is the one who's going to call the shots. So I had situations where I had a group of friends, and this is kind of like a little bit of a part 2 from my last video when I was talking about jealous and competitive friends. Was we were in a group of friends. It was about 6 of us. I was the last one to join. So anytime I had something special to say or things that identify myself, I'm a big nerd. So I like anime, I like mangas, like I'm a big, like I play video games, like I do a lot of things, but it's not I do everything. Like I'm not really the sporty type, but I don't really go out my way to go run a 10-mile marathon. Like I'm not like that. So the people that I was hanging out with, when I would try to get to know them, because I'm trying to figure out who was my actual friend so I can hang out with the people. That's what I think groups are. Groups are passer time. Like it's supposed to be short and quick. It's not supposed to be something you stay in and you delay your time in. But you're supposed to meet the people who you're actually cool with, and then y'all hang out one-on-one, or you have your couple people you like and do what you want. But not everybody's the same. Some people like to be in groups, and you're kind of just hiding behind who you really are. But for me, it was kind of for me to figure out who did I like, and I found out I didn't even like nobody. It was just something to pass the time because we were all just going out and we just did everything together. Party, golfing, you name it. And a lot of things I didn't even like and I wouldn't speak up. But one thing that I would realize is usually the leader of the group, when she had an idea, everybody hopped onto it. Everybody wanted to do it. And she would let everybody come over to her house. And I was kind of skeptical letting people come over. I did once, and then after a while, I was like, I think I'm not really comfortable with it for multiple reasons. But she was really the one who called a lot of the shots. So if I had a plan and she wasn't included, it was like, oh, okay, I need to like reverse or do something where I can like isolate you and not include you. And one example of this is me and one of the girls that were in the group. We were going to have a taco night, Taco Tuesday. And what happened was, this is the one I don't talk to anymore that I was talking about in the last video, but she tried to call it off at the last minute. I was like, I can't make it. She always started, she started doing it out of nowhere. But that's not the point. So we went for Taco Tuesday, and then only a few of them could go. Only like the leader, and it was like a couple other people in the group that couldn't go. And it was so funny because the place we picked was right across the street from her job. We even went over to her job, and she was like, maybe we could reschedule for another day, blase. And we just said, no, we want to do it this day. And we even went over there, talked to her. When she was like on her breaks for work, she would come and hang out with us because she worked in like a plaza. So she would just like come see us, talk to us, whatever. And we always were including her. Then what she decided to do was same next week, she made a separate group chat and they all went to the beach and then they left me out. None of the girls said anything. So she decided to take the approach to isolate me because I made plans that didn't include her. But we still had her included in the plan somehow, so I didn't understand that. But like I said, like the leaders, anybody, they're very picky and choosy. So to me, that should have just automatically gave me the flag to just leave and walk away. I don't get along. I never have, and I never will. I never will fit in with groups, cause somebody gonna sit there and say, "Oh, she thinks she's all that. She thinks she perfect. And it's really not even about that. It's just that I'm trying to have an identity and be myself." And then that was another thing too, was if I didn't like something, I wouldn't do it. So, and this is all circling back to the leader, like she would get upset with me when I didn't want to do pottery. She would get upset with me when I wouldn't want to do a $50 weaving class. She would get, because I have an identity. So let's search up self-identity. It is the state or fact of remaining the same one or ones as under varying aspects or conditions. Or it can be the condition of being oneself or itself and not another. So I always had a strong sense of myself. So for years, I knew I loved gaming. Like for years, like ever since I was like walking, or I can even get on the computer, I was just always playing games. Like you can ask anybody I know, like I was always like in hermit mode in my house. That's all I cared about was playing games. They were like dragging me outside to come play with the children because like I just love playing video games. I love streaming, all of that. So that's my strong identity of myself, and I held on to that. That's what I like to do. So if you're like bouncing back and forth, like I like to do pottery, I like to do rock climbing, I like to do puzzles, I like to do this, and then when somebody asks you, what do you like to do when you're on a date, a friend date, you can't answer that. You can't have those one-on-ones with women because you don't know who you are. And that also ties into people pleasing. I noticed that when you don't have a strong identity, you eventually like to go around and have the approach of not saying no. You don't want to make it seem like you're the bad guy. And I don't think that's normal. You need to have an identity. You need to be able to say, I don't want to do this. And same with the leader. When I didn't want to go out, I wouldn't pick up my phone. It was an issue. It was the problem. The energy was down the next time we would all hang out in the group. I don't have time for it, so that's why I ended it. But it also destroys your peace. I noticed when I was hanging out in groups of friends, I felt chaos. I felt chaotic. I felt anxiety. I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know if so-and-so was angry at me because I did this, or I didn't know so-and-so liked me. And it's a lot. So then versus when I'm alone or I just have my close relations friends, I had so much peace. I could listen to the Lord. I prayed. I meditated. I could listen to what my next move is. These friend groups, 20 years down the line, that shit's not going to matter. What's going to matter is your career, your financial outlook. What did you do to build up your character? Where are you right now? That has nothing to do with your group of friends. None of those people are there to build you up and help you. They're just looking for a good time. That's why you have to be choosy over who you're around and why you're in it. And it will change you and it will mold you. And because it was changing me. When I was around so many people who I know, Susie Ann and Billy Joe and all these people didn't like me. And then I'm forcing myself to sit in a room with you because I'm here for the one girl that I'm supposedly supposed to be cool with, and it ends up none of y'all I'm cool with. It molds you, it shapes you. And they were all people pleasers. That was the thing. I'm not a people pleaser. I've been done with that phase. Like I said, I won't pick up my phone if I don't want to. I don't. I even noticed with the girl who I was in the friend group for, she would never say no. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't care for that. And then she will go do things with them and then come to me. I never cared about that because she was molding herself to be something she wasn't. So if you're going around hanging with new people, nobody's going to like you. Because who are you? Who? I don't know who you are. So that's just something you gotta come up with yourself and realize when you meet anybody and they're just like, yes, yes, like, I need to do that. That you're so cool. Like, let's go hang out. Let's go do this. And somebody just says, I'm not interested. I don't like that. That's not me. There you go. Like I said, when I was with the other group from a month ago, I'm not going to somebody's random house. That's not me. You're going to have to catch me later. I'll just take a lift home. Y'all can go. I'm not going to somebody's random house I don't know. I don't do these adventures because I want everybody to like me so much. No, go ahead. I'll be the one left out that everybody looks down on. I don't care. I don't care. I watch too many movies. I watch too many shows. I hear too many stories on the news. People getting killed. Things happening because you want to be a people pleaser and everybody has to like you. No. And eventually it does catch up and you won't like those people because there is no identity tied to them. There's nothing. It's like looking into nothing. When you look into the eyes of these people, they don't have any souls. They don't have nothing. They're just everything, everyone. They don't belong anywhere. They have no purpose in life. They don't know. They're in survival mode. And I'm not. Those trips, you're hanging out with 10 people to go on trips with people you don't even like. That's a dangerous game to play. You're in a foreign country or a foreign island with people you can't even trust. Please. Please. You don't know these people. You don't know how they're going to treat you. You know how many times I looked on the news, people going on trips with people they think they cool with, they partied with, they're comfortable with, quotes, comfortable. And next thing you know, they're throwing them off a rock. They plan to, I don't know, put Nair in their shampoo, or they plan to embarrass them, or leave them out and isolate them. It's not cool. Find who your friends are. Because not everybody wants to be your friend. Not everybody cares about you. There will be jealousy everywhere you go. I don't care what nobody says. When you're a good looking person, you gotta go on. Let me mention good looking, beautiful. You got money. People gravitate around you. People see you, especially when you have an identity. You have that podcast. You have that house, that car, that husband. People look at that. Oh, she gotta go on. It's jealousy. And not everybody deserves your time. And that's why the trip things, if you want to go on trips with groups of people, power to you. But it's not always safe. And it's just better to just go on your own way and make your own tribe. And get closer with those people who you could closely connect with and trust. Anything can happen when you're in these foreign places where you don't even know what you're around. You don't know what they have under their sleeve. So take that advice, because I've seen too many things on that. And when you are a high vibe, high frequency person, you're not meant to be surrounded by a bunch of people. Jesus, he was walking alone. He had his disciples, yeah, he had people around him, but Everybody hated him. A lot of them were jealous. Yes, a couple people, his woman, his close friend. But other than that, he didn't have a bunch of people. He had his people that was around him, helping him out, helping him do his missionary work, helping him spread the word of the Lord. But other than that, he was alone. And not everybody deserves your light. So if you want to filter yourself out and become part of the formula with all these people around you and nobody can see your light and they're because somebody's bound to hate. Somebody gonna bring you down. When somebody gonna say something to demean you and make you feel lower. Because you're not supposed to have a personality with these people. You're supposed to blend and fit in. You're not supposed to make more and give everyone the details and share your numbers of stocks with everyone and increase their knowledge. They don't want to hear that. You have to be on the same level as everyone else. You cannot do better. That's why I do not hang out with groups of people. You will not do better than them. You will get the looks, you will get the vibe, you will get the energy, and in the fact, it takes a lot to even identify that you're right, that your conscience is telling you, this don't feel right. Why am I here? Why am I letting this happen? They don't care about you. You're a statistic. You have to fit in. It's normal to be alone. You get more done. It's more peaceful. I felt more peace being alone. I don't have a problem with it anymore. I used to, especially when I was graduating college. I used to be so, oh my God, I'm lonely, praying, please send me people. Oh my God, and I have a really, really one close friend. I'm whining to her. I'm always whining to her. Praise the Lord on her, because hearing me whine. But why me? Why? Shut up. Now, I actually crave being alone. That codependency stuff on people being around you and having somebody next to you to go work out and party and fake. I don't have time for it. I crave to be alone because I get so many things done. I've gotten since I've been cutting these people off. And actually, this year has been my most revenge year. Not in like an evil way, but I had so many people come back to me this year and God test me and say, you want to let these people back in your past that literally were trying to destroy you back into your life? Let me see what you want to do. You know how many friends I could have had around me if I was in my little codependency era, wanting to understand everyone and people please? No. I probably had 5 people I knew coming back from my past crying and complaining or, trying to eat. They ease their way in. They go take accountability. Not until you ask them. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing none. I'm not babying you. I'm not asking you. But they'll come around. Oh, hey, how's it been going? No, it takes too long for you to hit me up and take accountability. I want to sit down and actually talk about the past and what we could do to go forward. It takes you 3 months to take accountability and you're trying to drive. I know what the game is. I know what it is. And I will be making another video on that, like friends that try to come back and ease their way. No, it doesn't work. You know you're in the wrong. And they're cut. I'm peaceful. I don't have to deal with it. I've gotten so much done this year. If I had a bunch of people around me, I wouldn't have even heard the Lord. I would have heard party this weekend, bruh. Party. Oh, this guy, he's about to dump me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about who's dating who. If this boy like me, that girl try to fight. I don't care. I care about myself, my path, and what I'm supposed to do, what I'm destined to be. A positive of being in groups, I would say, is at work. That's one of the positive things. Because when you're at work and you're with a group of people, like business meetings, everybody's social gatherings, work social gatherings, anything like where it's like a bunch of people and they're all like, I'm into this, talking about whatever they're talking about, my kids, that's different because you can get the tea. The more you get the tea, you can know the ins and out of the company. And the more you know the ins and out of the company, that tells you who you need to stay away from or if you need to get the fuck up out of there. And how they treat their employees. That's the only time I'm going to hang out with a group of people and act all smiley and nice or whatever, because I want to hear the tea. You still need to have your boundaries up. You still need to have your walls up in a way where you're not going to let people mistreat you. Obviously, you still need to be involved and not be all introverted in the corner and not trying to like get to know people. No, you need to be in the business. You need to be in the business. And last reason why it's a good thing to be in a group setting, I think I already mentioned it, but it's a good way to find your people. It's a good way to find friends. When I was in the group, I had one girl. She was probably like almost like me. She was more like, she would play like nerdy things. Like she would put together like the little Lego houses. Like she liked to do salsa dancing. She was really calm. Not everybody's perfectly like you, but she had a strong identity. And out of everybody, I will always tell her about her. Like to everybody, I like her. She had a strong identity. She knows what she likes. She works. You didn't know too much about her, but you knew things about her. Like you didn't know things about like her family. You didn't really, she wouldn't talk about too much about her dating life unless it was asked if she wanted to tell you. She really just was to herself. And that's what I think I liked more about her. She wasn't like a yes person, like, oh, I want to go to the movies, I want to go club, and she would never really party. Like she would party once in a blue moon, but that really wasn't her thing. She just was in and out, and that's what I liked about her. We just never really got close, but I think that's what groups of friends are for, like define who you could be closer to, who you could have that relationship and that bond with, somebody you could really hang out with and go in those settings with people you like. But you don't have to hang out with all those people at one time. You're not obligated to. Don't make them feel like you're obligated. You find your people, you find your tribe, and you rock out. I'd rather have 2-3 friends on my hip than have 30 people who don't understand me and don't care about what's going on in my life. You see the difference? Because the more people you have in your energy field is the more people you have in your business sending you bad juju. And speaking of juju, juju is words. Words hold power. People could be at home. I didn't even get on jealousy. People be at home. Oh, she got that new job. She thinks she's better. Yeah, that won't work out. Because you got all these people around you, you're telling everybody your business. And it's eventually things are gonna come out. Somebody gonna ask you. You're gonna want to say something. It's just going to happen. So you need to find out who you can trust, who is worthy of your time, who is worthy to be around you, who shares the same things as you, who has the same character, who builds their character, doesn't want to steal your personality, wants to be their own self and have their own self-identity is so important. And that's somebody that's going to throw you under the bus when they're trying to people please everybody else around them. So you have to be very selective out of these pool of people. This is why I don't hang out with groups of friends. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like my video so I can get more flow on the videos, and subscribe. This will help me cultivate and upgrade my channel for more people to view. I want people to understand. I want you to comment. I want you to comment positive things. And honestly, anything you want me to change about the podcast stuff, like anything. I want this channel to be busy with flow of people, my angels. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye.